everyone, this is Ashley. In this video, we'll be reviewing the WeiLong WR M, MoYu's newest 3x3. This cube is MoYu's 6th iteration of the long-standing WeiLong line. This list is way long. The WRM's roots can be traced to the WeiLong GTS3, a cube that released last summer. The GTS3 is special in MoYu's development timeline, as it represented an adventurous new style and design. It featured strong magnets, a cool elasticity adjustment system with a gear, and external ridges for a better grip. While the gear system was very well received, the ridges were rather polarizing, as many cubers were simply not used to it. Also, to give consumers a little more variation, MoYu released a lighter magnet version called the GTS3 LM down the road. The WRM is MoYu's initiative to make the GTS3 more in line with current flagship norms. In one sentence, the WRM is a GTS3 LM with no ridges and a finer tuned gear system. Now, normally it's not a good thing to be able to describe in exact terms a new flagship release in one sentence while referring to its predecessor. Being able to do this means that the new release is too close to an already existing product. However, underneath the polarizing and risky choice to include ridges is a fantastic cube with a ton of flexibility and options. Let's take a closer look. The first thing to note is the gear compression system that was carried over from the GTS3. This time, MoYu gives us 9 choices instead of 8, making adjustments to elasticity finer and more detailed. More adjustment is always good and welcome. On a side note, this difference also functions as a slight saving grace from the WRM being just a ridgeless GTS3 LM. The next thing to discuss is feel. The WRM is naturally quick, clean, and crispy, but can be set up to suit a variety of preferences. For example, if you prefer the quick and crispy, you can lube the core with something heavy, and then lube the pieces minimally. This maintains the cube's natural, clean, and crispy feel. If you want something buttery and controllable, using a soft lube like Lubical Silk is a great way to achieve it. Outside of this, you can always adjust the gear compression to control the cube's speed and responsiveness. The range of feels you can get with this cube is huge. Lastly, the removal of the ridges makes the cube feel more compact, which is a trait that most competitive cubers appreciate these days. Aside from making two-handed solving more comfortable, the ridgeless nature of the WRM makes one-handed a lot more practical. If you like a quick and crispy feel for OH, the WRM may work. All in all, the changes that make the WRM different from its predecessor are slight, but mean a lot. The removal of the ridges brings the cube a lot closer to other flagships on the market, making it easier to adapt to and appreciate. Now let's see what our testers had to say on this cube.
Hey guys, this is Lucas here. After my time experimenting extensively with the MoYu WeiLong WR M, I can confidently say that it is one of the most complete 3x3s on the market. Personally, I feel that the removal of the GTS3 ridges from the puzzle accentuates its inherently smooth feeling and quick movement. The cube really has been a joy for me to turn, and I have had trouble putting it down. Setup on this cube is a little bit tricky. I believe that it is very important to find an ideal balance between tensioning and spring compression levels. As a longtime user of the GTS2, I have grown accustomed to my cube offering significant forgiveness for any turning misalignments, which has permitted me to take full advantage of high TPS bursts. Now, the fact that the WR demands much more precise turning means that I have had to adjust my turning style toward greater consistency. Simply preparing the cube on loose tensions and low spring compression results in awkward flexibility, which is certainly not desirable. With these factors considered, I have my WR set up on moderately loose tensions at the second spring compression level. It turns fairly effortlessly and has really not compromised my TPS too much. I must say that the WR seems to be a high momentum puzzle, signifying that it performs best with minimal pausing. Most of my lockups on this puzzle come after I initiate a sudden shift in TPS, subsequently making for some strange instances where my fingers flick without contact. Frankly, my only other problems with this cube are that its M slices are not super lenient and that it is a bit difficult to have clean turning stoppage. Ultimately, I have no doubt that the WR's positives far outweigh its negatives. My times on this cube are close to my best with the GTS2, and that gap should definitely close as I become more acclimated to the cube's style. If you're looking for an upgrade to the GTS3, the WR will not let you down.
Hey everyone, Damian here. At first I was not a huge fan of the WRM. The marketing seemed gimmicky, almost to the point of being dishonest. and I didn't think there were enough changes to warrant another release from MoYu. But since messing around with this puzzle for quite a while now, I have to say that I do enjoy solving on it, and I tend to get good times as well. While warming up for the solves in this video, in fact, I got an 1192 average of 5, which is just 2/10 off of my PB. I didn't dislike the ridges on the GTS3, but I definitely performed better without them. The crunchy, quick feel the WRM reminds me of older puzzles, but with modern performance. And the versatility of the puzzle as far as different combinations of setups available make it a top choice for me.
Hey everyone, this is Phil. I'm one of those guys who didn't like the ridges, so their removal was good news to me. It brings the cube closer to something that I can appreciate. After trying this cube for a decent amount of time, I can say with confidence that I appreciate it a lot. I have the gear compression to 8, the second tightest setting, and have a lube setup that's quite light. My setup gives the cube a slightly smooth but still clicky feel, so the best of both worlds in my opinion. Solving is very comfortable. I can go longer periods of time without getting tired, and the cube has a good crisp responsiveness. I currently switched between the Tang unit and the WRM as my main 3x3. I'm very glad that MoYu took a step to adjust the GTS3 in a direction that I like. That's it for our video, hope it helped you learn something useful, and see you next time.